You ever had one of those nights where you're just drifting off to sleep, and then bam, your leg locks up like a steel trap? One second you're dreaming of a beach in Hawaii, and the next you're wide awake, gasping, clutching your calf like it's possessed. You're trying not to wake your spouse, but your toes have curled into some kind of ancient Greek sculpture. That's not just a Charlie horse, that's a full-blown cramp ambush. And if you're over 60, chances are it's not your first time. But here's the twist nobody talks about. Those leg cramps? They're not just annoying. They're not just a normal part of aging. They're actually your body's last-ditch cry for help. In today's video, we're diving deep, and I mean deeper than your grandkid's Lego wedged in your heel, into the real reasons why leg cramps happen more as we age, and the 4 essential nutrients that can make the difference between waking up refreshed or waking up screaming into your pillow. As a physician who's treated thousands of patients across the US and Japan, many of them coming in with mysterious nightly cramps, I've seen how one missing mineral can derail someone's entire mobility. But the good news? Fixing it doesn't require fancy pills, expensive gadgets, or bathing in goat milk under a full moon. All you need are the right foods, the right habits, and a bit of humor to get through the night. Stick around, because we're not just going to list a few foods and call it a day. We're pulling back the curtain on the real cause behind those sudden spasms. Why eating healthy might not be enough. The one forgotten vitamin combo your muscles are literally begging for. And a 7-day challenge that could change your sleep and your legs for good. Let's kick things off with the moment that's made millions of seniors shout into the void. Why the heck do I feel weaker every week? 1. The morning jolt. Why are my legs cramping? Let me paint you a picture. It's 5:47 a.m. The birds aren't even up yet. You're lying in bed, warm, half dreaming about something pleasant, maybe pancakes or your granddaughter's giggle. And boom, your calf turns into a concrete knot the size of a golf ball. You jolt up like someone just tasered your leg. You go from peaceful slumber to Olympic-level toe-pointing, trying not to scream so loud that you wake the whole house. Sound familiar? That right there, that morning jolt, is more than just a freak muscle spasm. It's your body waving a big red flag. And it's a flag I've seen flapping in too many exam rooms from Tokyo to Texas. Now, here's what most people do next. They rub the muscle, maybe stretch it, maybe Google, "Why does my leg hate me?" Then nothing. They move on with their day, waiting for the next ambush. But let me tell you, these cramps aren't random. They're predictable, preventable, and if they're happening more often now than they used to, especially first thing in the morning or in the middle of the night, it's a sign something deeper is going on. Muscle cramps, particularly in older adults, are like a short circuit in your body's wiring, and the cause? 9 times out of 10, it's not just bad luck or getting older. Nope, it's a nutritional gap. One that sneaks in slowly, quietly, and then bam, bites you in the leg at dawn. But don't worry, you don't need to memorize a chemistry book or eat 27 bananas a day to fix it. In the next few minutes, I'll break down exactly why your muscles are going haywire when you least expect it, which 4 nutrients hold the key to calm, cramp-free legs, and how to start rebalancing your body before your next coffee. And yes, I'll even tell you the one healthy habit that might be making your cramps worse. Because I've seen it again and again, the mistake good people make trying to do the right thing. So grab a warm drink, maybe stretch that calf a little, and stick with me. Because next we're talking about the real reason these cramps show up. And it's got nothing to do with age. 2. Muscle cramps 101. What really causes them? Okay, so we've all had that moment you're walking across the kitchen, feeling fine, maybe humming an old Beatles tune, when out of nowhere your calf seizes up like someone tied a knot in your muscle with a fishing hook. What is that? Is it age? Karma? That extra cookie you snuck in last night? Let's break it down plain and simple. Muscle cramps happen when a muscle suddenly contracts and won't let go. And trust me, it's not your muscle just being moody. It's usually crying out for one of 4 things. 1. Electrolytes, or rather, the lack of them. You've got little electrical particles floating around in your blood: magnesium, potassium, calcium, sodium. They're like the DJ for your muscles, keeping the beat, telling them when to move, when to chill. But when one of those gets too low, your muscles misfire like an out-of-sync dance troupe. Magnesium is the real MVP here. When it's low, your muscles stay stuck in on mode. Think of it like pressing the brakes, and the pedal stays down. 2. Dehydration. Yes, that old chestnut again. But seriously, your muscles are over 70% water. When you're even slightly dehydrated, those muscle fibers get cranky, tight, and more likely to spasm. Especially at night when your fluid levels dip after hours of no drinking. 3. Poor circulation. Blood flow is how nutrients and oxygen get to your muscles. And if you're sitting too long, not moving much, or you've got conditions like diabetes or varicose veins, the plumbing isn't flowing like it should. That's like trying to water a garden with a kinked hose. 4. Overuse or awkward positioning. Ever fallen asleep with your foot dangling off the bed at a weird angle? Or tried a new stretch you definitely weren't ready for? Hello, Cramp City. Even something as innocent as resting your toes in a pointed position too long, yep, your calf will rebel. Now here's the thing. Most folks think cramps equals age. But I've seen patients in their 70s completely cramp-free, and 40-year-olds curled on the floor yelling for mercy. So no, age isn't the root cause. It just amplifies the effects of missing nutrients, dehydration, and lifestyle habits. And if these cramps are happening often, especially at night or first thing in the morning, your body is trying to get your attention. So, before you go blaming the moon phase or that bad mattress, let's look at the real fix. Because up next we're diving into the top 4 nutrients your body desperately needs to stop these cramps before they even start. And you might be surprised which ones you're missing, even if you eat healthy. Ready? Let's go there. 3. Nutrient 1, potassium, the muscle whisperer. Alright, picture this. You're sitting on the couch watching your favorite detective show, let's say reruns of Columbo. Because honestly, that trench coat never gets old, and suddenly your thigh locks up like it's trying to solve its own mystery. Boom, another cramp. Now let me introduce you to someone who should be on your side. Potassium. Yep, potassium. That quiet, underrated mineral that plays more of a superhero role in your muscles than most people realize. I like to call it the muscle whisperer. Why? Because it's the guy behind the scenes keeping your muscles calm, coordinated, and out of trouble. Here's what potassium actually does. Think of your muscles like little light switches. For them to turn on and off, properly contract and relax, you need electrical balance. And potassium is a huge part of that wiring. It works closely with sodium to send signals from your brain to your muscles. When potassium's low, the signals get scrambled. Static. Why? Your muscle gets the message to contract, but not the memo to stop. And that's when you end up hopping around the kitchen, grabbing at your leg, swearing you'll never skip bananas again. Now here's something a lot of people get wrong. They think just eating one banana is enough. I mean, I love bananas, but potassium isn't just about that fruit. In fact, one medium banana only has about 400 milligrams of potassium. Your body? It needs roughly 3,500 to 4,700 milligrams a day. So unless you're eating bananas like a chimp on vacation, you'll want to branch out. Here are some potassium-packed champs. Sweet potatoes, 1 medium baked, gives you over 500 milligrams. Spinach, cooked spinach is like potassium in disguise. Avocados, not just trendy toast toppers. 1 avocado can deliver up to 975 milligrams. White beans, boring name, big benefits. Coconut water, nature's Gatorade, without the artificial neon glow. Oh, and pro tip? If you're on certain meds like diuretics or blood pressure pills, they might be flushing potassium right out of your system. So talk to your doc. Trust me, I've seen more than a few surprise cramp cases turn out to be med-related potassium crashes. So, next time your leg tries to stage a protest mid-walk, ask yourself, have I fed my muscle whisperer today? Now hang tight, because coming up next is another major player in the cramp crime scene. It's the unsung hero of muscle recovery. And no, it's not calcium. Let's talk about magnesium, a mineral that does more than most people give it credit for. On to nutrient 2. Let's keep those legs calm and carry on. 4. Nutrient 2, magnesium, the muscle relaxer. Let's set the scene. It's 3 a.m. You're sound asleep, dreaming of your favorite diner breakfast pancakes, crispy bacon, a bottomless cup of coffee when bam, your calf decides to twist into a human pretzel. You jolt up, clutching your leg, making noises only dolphins would understand, wondering, did someone just stab me with a fork? Yep, that, my friend, was a muscle cramp. And it's not just potassium that's the missing piece. Enter magnesium, the chill cousin of the mineral family. The one who walks in late, smooth, says, hey man, just relax, and actually makes it happen. Magnesium is your natural muscle relaxer. No pill bottle needed. Here's how it works. Muscle contraction and relaxation are a team effort. Potassium and calcium fire the signal. Magnesium? It's the one that says, okay boys, show's over, time to cool off. Without enough magnesium, your muscles stay in a constant state of tension. Think of it like your leg trying to hold a yoga pose. Forever. That's how cramps start. Now, this is where it gets sneaky. Most people have no idea they're magnesium deficient. Why? Because symptoms are subtle at first, maybe a little fatigue, a bit of stiffness, poor sleep. Then bam, cramp city. And here's the kicker. Our modern diet doesn't help. Magnesium used to be plentiful in our soil. But thanks to industrial farming, overprocessing, and eating more junk than we care to admit, it's been squeezed right out of our meals. So where can you get more magnesium without chewing on chalk? Let's talk real food. Pumpkin seeds, these little guys, are magnesium bombs. Spinach, yes, Popeye was onto something. Dark chocolate, no joke. Just pick one with 70% cocoa or more. Almonds and cashews, snack smart, folks. Avocados, yep, they're back again, nature's overachiever. And don't forget magnesium-rich mineral water, yes. Even your water can work harder for you. One of my patients in Tokyo used to suffer from calf cramps every other night. We checked her lab's magnesium levels were scraping the floor. 3 weeks on spinach smoothies and roasted pumpkin seeds. And poof, no more midnight cramp attacks. And she slept like a cat in the sun. So if your muscles are constantly throwing tantrums, magnesium might be the peace treaty they need. But here's the thing. Even with potassium and magnesium on board, cramps can still sneak in if you're missing this next crucial player. It's not a vitamin. It's not a mineral. Hydration. And yes, it matters more than you think. Coming up, hydration. The secret sauce your muscles crave. You won't believe how fast dehydration sabotages your strength. Let's dive in. 5. Nutrient 3, calcium, more than bone support. Let me guess. When I say calcium, your brain immediately flashes to a tall glass of milk and a cartoon skeleton doing yoga. Been there. But here's what most people don't realize. Calcium isn't just about keeping your bones from turning into dry spaghetti. Nope. Calcium is actually critical for something far more immediate, your muscles' ability to move without locking up like a rusty garage door. Let me tell you about a guy named George. George is 68, retired, and proud of it. He walks every morning, eats his kale. But for the last 6 months, his legs started cramping up during his walks. Not after, during. He said, "Doc, I thought I pulled a hamstring just from strolling to the mailbox." We ran tests. Guess what? His calcium levels were in the basement. You see, every single time a muscle fiber contracts, calcium is the one giving the order. It's the signal that says, all right troops, tighten up. And when the contraction is done, it's calcium that helps the muscle chill out again. But if you're low on calcium, that signal gets scrambled. Your muscles fire off without coordination. And boom, hello Charlie horse. And just like magnesium, calcium depletion in seniors is way more common than you'd think. Why? Aging bodies absorb less calcium. Less sun equals less vitamin D equals less calcium absorption. And many people avoid dairy, thinking it's fattening or inflammatory. Newsflash. Not all dairy is the enemy. Now, you might be thinking, okay, fine, I'll just chug milk like I'm 12 again. Not so fast. Dairy is great, but not the only option. Let's look at the calcium all-stars. Sardines, bones and all. Tiny fish, massive payoff. Dark leafy greens, kale, collards, bok choy. Spinach? Not so fast. It has calcium but also oxalates that block absorption. Fortified plant milks, almond, soy, oat. Tofu with calcium sulfate, yes, Read the label. Yogurt and cheese, especially Greek yogurt. Bonus. Protein plus probiotics. And if you want your calcium to actually get to the muscle, you'll need a helper, and that's where vitamin D steps into the spotlight. Coming up next, vitamin D, the unsung hero behind muscle function, and trust me, this one might just be the most misunderstood of them all. Let's keep going. 6. Nutrient 4 Vitamin B6, the forgotten link. You know that moment when you're halfway through tying your shoes, and suddenly your calf decides it's auditioning for Cirque du Soleil? Yeah, that one. Now, what if I told you there's a vitamin that most people completely forget about, but it plays a crucial backstage role in keeping your muscles from cramping up like a scared armadillo? Meet vitamin B6. Not as flashy as vitamin C. Not as trendy as vitamin D. But this little guy, he's the unsung hero of nerve-muscle communication. Let me explain. Every time you move a muscle, whether you're waving to your neighbor or trying to sneakily open a jar of pickles at 2 a.m., your nerves send signals to your muscle fibers. Like text messages, but way faster and way more important. Vitamin B6 is what helps build the neurotransmitters that carry those messages. Now imagine if your phone had 5% battery, 3 cracked apps, and no Wi-Fi. That's what your muscle signals look like when you're low on B6. And here's the kicker. Many seniors are deficient in B6. Why? Medications like blood pressure drugs or diabetes meds can deplete B6 levels. Digestive issues like low stomach acid or gut inflammation reduce absorption. And just plain not eating enough B6-rich foods. Because let's be honest, when was the last time you craved a chickpea salad? But when B6 is low, your nerves start misfiring. Muscles tighten unpredictably. And boom, that mystery cramp strikes again. So where do you get this magic micronutrient? Here's the grocery list. Bananas, yes, finally a fruit that lives up to the hype. Chickpeas, more power to the humble hummus. Salmon again? Yep. Omega-3s and B6? That's muscle gold. Potatoes with the skin. Don't throw away the good stuff. Chicken breast lean, mean B6 machine. And if you're not getting enough from food, no shame in asking your doctor about a supplement, just don't go rogue on Amazon and grab the megadose. Alright? Now, here's the wild part. B6 doesn't work in isolation. For optimal cramp protection and muscle performance, you've got to pair it with the right lifestyle habits: hydration, movement, and yes, even sleep. So up next, we're tying it all together. The 3 lifestyle habits that supercharge everything we've talked about and keep those cramps from hijacking your morning stretch. Let's roll. 7. Hydration plus electrolytes. The combo you can't skip. Let me ask you something. Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night, absolutely paralyzed by a leg cramp, the kind that feels like your calf just turned into a twisted breadstick? And you're there, flailing in bed, making sounds only dolphins can hear? Yeah, that one. Now here's what most people don't realize: one of the sneakiest, most overlooked causes of muscle cramps is not drinking enough water. But wait, it's not just about water. It's about water's dance partner in this whole thing. Electrolytes. That's right. Potassium, magnesium, calcium, we've talked about those, but they're all electrolytes, and they need hydration to function. Think of it like trying to drive a car with no oil. You've got all the parts, but nothing's moving smoothly. Here's how it works. Your muscles contract and relax through electrical impulses. Electrolytes are the little ions that carry those signals. But if you're dehydrated, those signals short-circuit. And instead of a smooth muscle movement, your leg decides to seize up like a rusted garage door. Now, here's the kicker. As we age, our sense of thirst decreases. You might not feel thirsty, but your body is running on low. Especially if you're taking medications like diuretics, or if you drink a lot of coffee or alcohol, which, let's be honest, some of us do enjoy a bit more than a green smoothie. So what do? Start simple. Water. Aim for 6 to 8 glasses a day, and yes, that includes herbal tea and broth. Coconut water. Nature's electrolyte drink, and no weird chemicals. Salted bone broth. It's warm, comforting, and full of minerals, especially for those on low-carb or low-salt diets. Electrolyte powders. Just don't grab the neon blue ones loaded with sugar. Look for ones with real magnesium, potassium, and no junk. And here's a practical tip from one of my patients in Tokyo. She sets a small glass of water next to her toothbrush. Every morning and every night, no excuses. Hydration becomes a habit, not a chore. Because when you get hydration and electrolytes right, it's like your muscles breathe easier. Cramps back off. Movements feel smoother. And you don't have to do yoga poses in your sleep just to get your leg to calm down. Now, we've covered the big four nutrients. We've hydrated. So what's next? Well, all of this is great, but if your lifestyle is working against you, you're still going to struggle. Up next, we're getting into the habits, the little daily moves that actually keep your muscles working like they're supposed to. And no, I'm not going to make you run marathons. I'm talking about smart movement, not misery. Let's go. 8. The 3 worst habits that trigger leg cramps. Alright, so we've covered the good stuff: nutrients, hydration, the vitamins your muscles secretly crave. But now, let's flip the script. Because what if I told you, you could be doing all the right things, eating your bananas, sipping your coconut water, taking your supplements, and still waking up at 3 a.m. doing the cramp dance of doom? Why? Because of these 3 everyday habits that act like tiny saboteurs, quietly wrecking your muscle health when you're not looking. Let's break them down. Mistake 1. Sitting for hours without moving. Ever watch 2 whole episodes of your favorite show, got up from the couch and your legs said, nope? Here's the deal. When you sit for too long, especially with knees bent at sharp angles. Yes, I see you cross-legged warriors. Blood flow to your lower limbs slows down. Your muscles aren't getting enough oxygen or nutrients, and they start throwing tantrums in the form of cramps. Even a mini walk around the living room every hour can save you from the couch-induced calf cramp. Pro tip? Set a timer. Or better yet, just move during commercial breaks if those still exist in your world. Mistake 2. Skipping warm UPS and cool downs. This one's a classic. You go for a walk. Maybe you do a little gardening. Or stretch just enough to reach the remote. Then bam, that night leg cramp city. Why? Because tight muscles are cranky muscles. And without warm-ups or cool downs, you're sending them straight into battle without armor. Even simple stretches like heel-to-wall calf stretches or seated toe touches can make a world of difference. Think of it like flossing, but for your legs. Mistake 3. Caffeine and alcohol overload. Okay. Don't shoot the messenger. I love a good cup of coffee. And yes, a glass of wine now and then is lovely. But too much caffeine or alcohol, it dehydrates you faster than a sauna in July. And like we just covered, no water, no electrolytes, means no mercy from your muscles. If you're indulging, just make sure you're chasing that espresso or cocktail with a full glass of water. Your muscles will thank you by not attacking you at 2 a.m. Sathos are the 3. Seem harmless, right? But they build up. Day after day, these habits quietly chip away at your muscle function. Fixing them doesn't require a gym membership or a strict routine. It just takes awareness and a little TLC for your legs. Next up, let's get to the real heart of the matter: how to bring it all together. Because nutrition and lifestyle are one half. But your mindset, your habits, that's the other. And I've got just the plan to help you turn all this into real results. Let's talk about your 30-day leg comeback starting now. 9. Doctor's daily routine for strong, cramp-free legs. Let me pull back the curtain a little. I've treated thousands of seniors both in the US and here in Japan, and let me tell you, the best health transformations didn't come from fancy procedures or miracle pills. They came from routines. Simple, repeatable, non-negotiable. So today, I'm handing over my personal routine, the exact daily steps I follow and recommend to my patients to keep legs strong, flexible, and cramp-free. Let's dive in. Step 1. Morning stretch before I even leave the bed. Yes, before the slippers hit the floor. I start my day with a 2-minute stretch routine: gentle ankle rolls, a few hamstring stretches while lying down, and some deep breaths. Why? Because tight calves are like loaded mousetraps. On wrong move and snap, hello, leg cramp. This routine not only wakes up circulation, it tells my nervous system, hey, we're not 25 anymore. Let's ease into this. Step 2. Breakfast with purpose. No sugary cereals, no buttered toast. I eat for my muscles banana slices with almond butter for potassium and magnesium, a boiled egg or two for B vitamins and protein, and sometimes a sprinkle of chia seeds for hydration support. This isn't eating healthy. This is feeding function. Step 3. Water plus electrolytes equals morning must. Here's where most people mess up. They drink water but forget the minerals. I start every morning with a big glass of water plus a pinch of sea salt and a squeeze of lemon. That's instant electrolyte support, no fancy sports drinks required. Trust me, your legs know the difference. Step 4. 10-minute leg wake up. Mid-morning, I take a break just 10 minutes to get the blood flowing. Sometimes I walk up and down the hallway. Sometimes I do heel raises at the kitchen counter. The point is, movement keeps your muscles talking to your nerves, and communication equals no cramping. Step 5. Magnesium check-in, afternoon ritual. Around 3 p.m., when energy dips and temptation kicks in for a sweet snack, I go for Greek yogurt with pumpkin seeds or a handful of almonds. Why? Magnesium. It's the muscle relaxer mineral, and seniors don't get nearly enough. This one habit alone has saved dozens of my patients from those post-nap Charlie horses. Step 6. Evening foot soak or leg rub. I'm not fancy. I use a cheap plastic tub, warm water, a bit of Epsom salt. 20 minutes, book in hand, feet soaking and tight muscles melt. No time for that? Magnesium oil rub on the calves works wonders too. Step 7. Bedtime stretch plus hydration. Just like how I start my day, I end it with a 2-minute stretch. I keep a glass of water by the bed, yes, even if it means a midnight bathroom trip. It's better than a 2 a.m. leg cramp. This routine sounds simple, right? That's because it is. But stacked together, day after day, these small habits add up to strong, steady legs that don't scream in the middle of the night. No drama, no mystery, just consistency and care. All right, now that you know my playbook, it's your turn. In the final chapter, I'll show you exactly how to put it all into action with a fun, no-pressure challenge I've created just for you, the 30-day leg strength reboot. Let's wrap this up and get you moving. 10. Join the 7-day No More Cramps challenge. Alright, you've made it this far, which means one thing. You're serious about kicking those leg cramps to the curb. Now, how about we take everything we've learned and actually put it into motion? Welcome to the 7-day No More Cramps challenge. No signups, no gimmicks, no magic powders shipped from the Himalayas. Just you, your legs, and a foolproof 7-day plan that blends the best habits from this video into a routine that works in the real world. Here's how it goes. Day 1. Start with hydration. Big glass of water plus pinch of sea salt and lemon first thing in the morning. Bonus points if you add half a banana to the mix. Day 2. Add in that 2-minute stretch before and after bed. Doesn't need to be yoga, just loosen up those calves and hamstrings like you're defrosting frozen spaghetti. Day 3. Include at least one magnesium-rich snack. Almonds, pumpkin seeds, spinach. I don't care if it's in a smoothie or on pizza, get it in. Day 4. Eat a potassium-powered breakfast. Banana, sweet potato, even some avocado toast. Give your muscles a whisper of relief before they start screaming at 3 a.m. Day 5. Soak or rub. Tonight, treat your legs to a warm Epsom salt soak or rub magnesium oil into your calves. Put on a little jazz if it helps the mood. Day 6. Ditch one bad habit. Maybe it's that extra glass of wine, or skipping water all day and guzzling it before bed. Today, just choose one thing and break the pattern. Day 7. The full doctor's routine. Combine it all. Stretch, hydrate, eat smart, move a little, and prep for a cramp-free night. Here's what I want you to notice. Not just fewer cramps, but better sleep, more stable steps, stronger mornings. And hey, even if you only hit 5 out of 7, that's still progress. And progress beats perfection every time. If you're doing this challenge, let me know in the comments with, "I'm in. No more cramps." I read every single one. And if you found even one tip today that made you think, "Hey, I could do that," then do me a favor. Like this video. Share it with someone who needs it, especially that friend who always complains about night cramps. And subscribe for more no-nonsense, Doctor-approved health advice that works for real people with real lives. Alright, let's end this where it began with your legs. They've carried you for decades. It's time we return the favor. See you in the next video, cramp-free and moving better than ever.